Go ahead and jump into the next question. And I got this question actually about a week and a half ago, and I said I was going to address it because I really want to go in on this question. So this question comes from a Raymond Story, and he writes, "Hey Alex, is Charlie Cox Daredevil going to be in Spider-Man 3? I mean, anything is possible since Kevin Smith said that he heard that this might happen." All right. Well, thank you for your question, Raymond. So I don't know about you, Jeremy, but for me, I really did enjoy the Netflix series. Daredevil was definitely my favorite. Luke Cage was my second favorite, and then Defenders. Jessica Jones and Iron Fist kind of lie on the sidelines for me personally. But one thing that was the biggest standout out of all of that was Daredevil. I thought each consecutive season was amazing. Now, we did get confirmation like years ago, I think in 2018 or 2017, that they canceled all their Netflix shows. Disney's going in a different direction with these characters. Now, Raymond, I'm not saying your question is asinine. I'm not even saying you have a right to bring that up. What I'm kind of like frustrated that someone like Kevin Smith would put this in the air knowing that legally Disney can't do this. Prime example, I'm just going to set the field for you guys. First of all, yes, Disney owns Daredevil, but Netflix owns the rights to the version of Daredevil. If Disney really wanted to buy those rights back, they could, but they would not spend X amount of dollars to get Charlie Cox's version of Daredevil, to put that version of Daredevil in a movie that they don't even own. Keep in mind, Spider-Man is not owned by Disney. He's connected, obviously, and they get some form of shares from each individual Spider-Man movie. But to put a character that Disney does not 100% own that version of into a movie that they don't get that much profits from is an asinine thing that they would do. And the fact that Kevin Smith got on his podcast, and mind you, Kevin, I have much respect for you, but the fact that you got on your podcast and said that you heard that this could be a thing. My thing is that, first of all, I looked it up. The only places that I see are reporting that type of thing are places like We Got This Covered and Cosmic Movie News. Stuff that has never been right about anything at all. So the fact that he put that out there, I'm like, dude, you've been doing this longer than almost anybody. And you, out of all people, should know that when you're talking about rumors, big websites are going to run with that because it's you. You're connected into this comic book movie space. So, no, personally, to answer the question, no. Charlie Cox, as far as I know, is not going to be in Spider-Man 3 for legal reasons. Disney can't do that unless they've already bought those rights back. But keep in mind, yes, that's not to say, though, Daredevil won't be in the movie. I just think it'll be a different version of Daredevil, not Charlie Cox. But again, the fact that Kevin Smith did that is just kind of mind-blowing to me. But what do you think, Jeremy? Do you think that Charlie Cox is going to be in Spider-Man 3? Or do you think Daredevil, a version of Daredevil, will be in Spider-Man 3? And do you think that Kevin Smith was just wrong for what he did by putting this narrative out of there?
I'm going to be honest, man. I didn't think about it until you said that. Now I'm like, yeah, that was pretty irresponsible. I agree. It's kind of like being like, hey, did you know that if you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, then you're not actually infected with the COVID-19 virus? Mm-hmm. No, it's not true. I just heard it on the internet. I heard somebody say it on the internet, and now I'm repeating it, and people are taking what I'm saying, and they're running with it like it's a story. Because Kevin Smith does go on to say, to protect him a little bit, and first of all, you guys got to know I'm joking about you definitely cannot tell by holding your breath. That's misinformation. Misinformation gets spread by not being responsible when you go and repeat shit that you've heard other people say.
Exactly.
So with that kind of Kevin Smith is kind of spreading the gossip virus by doing that. However, he does go on to clarify basically like, look, I'm not an authority on this. I'm just repeating what I heard some other people say, which is a recipe for disaster. If you hear somebody say something, just assume that it's wrong. Just go. That's my rule of thumb. Just work under the assumption that you've got to prove this person is accurate, and then go from there. So, like, if somebody says that, I do what you did, Alex. I Google it and I say, who actually said that maybe Charlie Cox will be showing up in the new Spider-Man movie? Oh, I don't trust any of these websites at all. I'm going to assume that this is complete trash. But there's a lot of stories that get done this way, and I got to believe that that Raymond asked that with a little bit of a wink, because he does say, I mean, anything is possible. If Kevin Smith said he heard that this will happen, right? Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right about that. If Disney and Marvel wanted to buy the rights off of Netflix, I'm sure they could work out a deal. I mean, you look at Spider-Man, same kind of situation. Months before that, you or I probably on recording said, it ain't going to happen. How could you make something like that happen because of contracts and all these different things? So, you know, it wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibility, but I got to ask, like, is that what we really want tonally? Daredevil getting dropped into the new Spider-Man movie? I love what they're doing with Spider-Man at Marvel, and I love what they were doing with Daredevil on Netflix. But that don't mean that they, you know, two great tastes don't necessarily taste great together. So, yeah. And for me, like, again, I would rather see not necessarily Daredevil in Spider-Man 3, maybe a Matt Murdock trying to prove that Peter Parker is not Spider-Man. It could be cool.
I would love that. But what does Hell's Kitchen have to do with Spider-Man? I don't know. That's just my thing. And again, I love team ups, but for that reason, I don't see that happening. I just don't. But then again, I could be wrong. I don't work for Disney. I don't work for Marvel. I don't work for any of those entities. So for all we know, Charlie Cox could be on set right now. Well, obviously not right now during this quarantine, but could be in talks to be in that movie. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that, you know, Charlie Cox is actually going to be in the movie? Do you think that Kevin Smith was irresponsible like I think he is? Or, you know, do you think that, you know, this is all a hoax and Daredevil will definitely be in the movie, just not Charlie Cox? Jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.